afternoon, and welcome back to our annual conference presenter interview series. Again, I am your host, Trissetta Alexander, business productivity coach and strategic consultant to solopreneurs, small business owners, nonprofits, and ministries. And this interview, I am sitting down with Dan McGrew. Welcome, Dan.
Thank you, Trissetta. I'm very happy to be here.
I am glad to have an opportunity to chat with you this afternoon. Why don't you share with everyone a little bit about who you are and what you do?
Sure. So as you said, my name is Dan McGrew. I serve as General Manager for Career Source Capital Region. And really what that means is I oversee operations at our 3 career centers, where we pride ourselves in helping individuals in our community change their lives by providing employment and education opportunities that can connect them with quality, sustained employment in our community.
That's awesome. It's especially in a time right now, that's a very critical service for people to have access to. So we appreciate the work that you do in our community.
Well, thank you.
So you are going to be speaking at the conference on the topic of shared leadership with the title of Together We Can Achieve More. What can people expect to hear from you in that session?
So while I appreciate the thanks for what I do in this community, it really is the work of the team, of our team and all of the hard work that they bring to the table. So what we're going to talk about in the shared leadership, Together We Can Achieve More, is what are some strategies that you can take so that every part of your organization can be working toward the same mission. At Career Source Capital Region, we talk about hashtag changing lives, and from every level of the organization, we are all doing some part. We're playing some part in realizing that mission. So what we're going to talk about is, what makes a great team? How can you visualize and measure and determine employee engagement? What are some things that you can do to make sure that your employees and your team are engaged, not only in their job, but clearly tying that to the mission? And we'll go through a couple exercises actually that you can bring and take home to your own organization and make sure that you are all walking in lockstep. So in the span of our time together next Thursday, the goal would be to walk away with a great definition of what makes a great team. How can you determine employee engagement, and what are some things, some concrete things that we can do within our organizations to get everyone on the same page and start working together toward a goal?
That's awesome because, really and truly, it, like you said, it is a team. It is the collective effort that really enables us to have the impact that we desire to have in the communities in which we serve. Whether you're a nonprofit organization or you're a commercial business, there's still an impact that you want to have with your product or your service. What do you see as the number one barrier to engaging your employees?
Well, I think engagement begins with a couple key elements. Number one, clearly outlining an individual's role in the scope of the greater mission. So how does what you are charged with doing on a daily basis, how does that play a role in us as an organization achieving what we're looking to achieve? Second, it's about making sure you give people the opportunity and the autonomy to work within their strengths and their individual and diverse things that they bring to the table in order to achieve that mission. I've seen a lot of teams over my years of experience kind of fall apart because they're being told to operate the way that someone else wants them to operate and not able to really bring their best to the table. The reality is every single one of us is unique, and every single one of us brings a different set of strengths to the organization and to a project or to an initiative. And when we're able to achieve a goal in multiple ways, in the way that I'm best at doing that, and you're best at doing that, and I know how you're going to operate in a certain, how you're going to react in a certain situation, and I'm going to react in a certain situation. That's where we can work together best in order to achieve something. So we're going to talk a little bit about that and how to create that strengths-based kind of culture and bring a strengths-based leadership to an organization and to the individual culture that you're trying to build for your organization.
Yeah, absolutely. And you said something a little while ago about kind of that shared vision and bringing people on board to that shared vision. Um, what what do you see? Why is it so important to be that, as a manager or leader of an organization to cast that vision and get people to buy into it?
Um, I believe that it makes everyone, it gives everyone an opportunity to be proud of the organization's successes, to know that whether I was the person who took that first piece of information and contact information down on an intake sheet, or whether I was the person to finally get that individual in front of an employer for an interview, or maybe I was the one who tweaked a resume that got them the interview. The reality is we're all working together on behalf of that client, on behalf of that goal. So the more that folks understand their role as it relates to the greater mission, we can all celebrate and high five the successes. And that's what can bring an engaged workforce to the table and engaged teams to the table, to know that we all have our role.
Right.
We all have one piece to play. But if we all do our role, we will be successful in what we're looking to do. But we're
Absolutely.
interdependent with each other, right? What I do impacts what you do, and further down the line. So being able to create that interdependency within the organization can be really powerful. It also creates a culture of buy-in, right? Hey, it allows people to bring to the table, here are ideas I have to make this part really effective, which will then, make everyone down line more effective. And when you have that sense of ownership over what you bring to the table and what your role is in this, uh, amazing things can happen.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love that you shared when you were introducing your organization, you shared your hashtag changing
Mhm.
lives. And I absolutely love that because it brings what you do, it brings the mission of your organization into something that is really short and succinct that everyone can grab hold of and know that no matter what their role is in the organization, they are changing lives, that's what the ultimate goal. So dare I ask, how did you all come up with that hashtag? Was that kind of a group decision, or did that, start with like, leadership and kind of trickle down? How did that come about?
So that's a great question, and you're causing me to go back into my memory banks a little bit, and I think Um, I think what it was one of those very simple things. We were doing an annual presentation or annual report back to our team. What are all the things we accomplished this year, right? What did we do? And our CEO, Jim McShane, and I, as we were putting together our remarks, we just kind of said hashtag changing lives. And we decided to kind of throw that into the presentation. And when we said that statement, or we created that hashtag, I don't want to say eyes lit up, but everybody understood.
Right.
Everybody understood. So when you think about a complex organization with 50 to 60 employees all doing very different things, when you can find that singular thing that everybody agrees, yes, that's what we're doing, that can be very powerful. So that's what made it stick. I couldn't tell you how many things we've tried in the past that maybe you looked around the room and didn't stick, or not, you didn't get broad consensus on, but that one was very clear. The minute we said hashtag changing lives, heads nodded, people sat up in chairs, and you could smell kind of a sense of pride, right, in
Yeah.
what it is we were doing. And no matter what we described as a success, right? New registrations in our system, placements, degrees conferred, investments in work-based training, veterans assisted, whatever it was, it could all be defined ultimately by that hashtag. So we always say that I don't care what it is you're doing, just welcoming somebody into one of our career centers, escorting them out in today's day and age, taking a temperature, right, handing out a mask for a client to wear when they're in our center. It is all one step in that person's journey to change a life. And we're doing that in so many different ways. And if you can define what you do around something you can truly believe in, so if you can define your day-to-day tasks and responsibilities about something you truly believe in, it can make the mundane amazing, right?
Right.
And you can go home every day and come in every Monday excited for whatever is going to come your way. So
Yeah,
that's why we love it.
absolutely. Absolutely. And it's it goes back to, like, it brings us right back to the title of your session, Together We Can Achieve More. And so when everyone can rally around a shared vision or shared goal, and you create that synergy, because that's kind of what that sounds to me like what happened is you created this synergy and it just resonated with everyone, and that's what made it stick, and that's what makes it easy for us to show up in the work on a consistent basis, because there are days when you just don't feel like it, right?
Absolutely.
There's going to be days, there's going to be times when you just don't feel like it, whether you are in formal leadership or you're just leading in the role that you play in your organization. And so having that shared vision, having that why, right? One of the things that I teach when I'm doing any type of strategic planning or goal setting with a client is that we go deep to find that true why, because a lot of times we want to stick at the surface, and that's not enough to keep pushing you forward. We got to get to that really, really deep why. And in this case, the changing lives is really that true why. So that it's like, yeah, I can grab hold to that. Sorry, it just really touched me. Like I felt that same synergy, even though I'm not a part of your organization, but like
take it, you can have it. Right? Bring it to yours, right?
Right. Yeah. You just connect with it. And so, and that's what nonprofit organizations do, no matter what capacity they do it in. They change lives.
Right. Absolutely. Right. And, so, the other thing that I always that I preach with my staff is, like, we do not get the privilege or we don't get the honor of meeting people on their best day, right? And I think that's true throughout the nonprofit world and the human services sector. Oftentimes, you are actually charged with meeting people on what might be their worst day, right?
Right.
So it becomes really important that you bring your best every day. Yeah. To that organization, because while you can't change what brought people in, you can change their experience from that point forward. Right. And that's what becomes important. And if we're truly going to assist our communities and help our communities kind of as an entity get to that next step, we've got to bring that level of execution and attitude really every moment. Right. Yeah. So you can't afford to have that bad day. You can't afford to because our community is expecting something different, right, from us. So and we owe it to them. So.
Yeah. Well, you have inspired me already. And all we did was chat for just a couple minutes about what you're going to be sharing on. So I am super excited to hear you, to hear your presentation. You're actually going to be closing us out. So I know that everyone will walk away truly inspired just based on the conversation that we've had today. Let me ask you a question. If anyone watching from their organization, maybe they'd like to go deeper and bring you into their organization to share a little bit more on this, or have you present at their event, what's the best way for people to connect with you?
So you can reach me probably the easiest way. So I by day, general manager, Career Source Capital Region, and as time allows, one of the things I do love to do is get in front of groups and other organizations and do trainings and leadership exploration activities like this. But you can reach me at dan@mcgrewconsulting.com. That's probably the best way. That contact information. Also, those of you who attend the presentation will get all of that in the presentation materials as well. But that's a great way to reach out and let's talk. Let's see if there's a shared opportunity and time allows. I'm happy to come in and speak and work with your individuals. I love it.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. For those of you who are still sitting around saying, oh, I've got plenty of time to register, doors are closing on Monday. So go ahead. I've included the link in the post description. Go ahead, click that link now and get yourself registered today. If you have a team of 5 or more that you want to register, we do have a discount available to you. Please let us know in the comments that you're interested in registering a team, or head on over to the website and the contact information is there on the page. You can email us and let us know that you'd like to register your team, and we will go ahead and take care of that for you. Again, it all goes down next week, August the 19th and 20th, for the annual UPHS Conference for Excellence in Nonprofit Management and Leadership. Dan, thank you for joining me today.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me. I truly appreciate the opportunity.
Absolutely. I really enjoyed chatting with you. And like I said, I feel inspired. I'm ready to go take on the world.
Well, go get it.
We're gonna go after it. So thanks again for joining me, and I will see you all. I'll be right back here at 4:00 for one more interview today with Desmond Creighton. So see you back here at 4. Have a good one, everyone.